Okay, now we're recording here with my friend Juan Carlos. He always asks me this important question before I started. Do you have topics? We never have topics. We never have topic for this shit. We haven't had record a podcast in a while. Well, as you know, I was with the Armando situation. Like
Yeah,
he was in the bed. So finally, he's recovering. Let's hope the best. You never know, but so far so good. But just to summarize, for people that don't know, the previous bet, they were charging me 1,100 soles just for the surgery. Just for the surgery. In total, the budget was like almost 3,000 soles. So it was insane. So veterinarians rape if you don't check the right one.
holy crap, that's a lot. Just to take only his balls?
Yes, just to give you an idea, I'm talking just about the surgery, not the test before and after. But just the surgery in this bed, they were charging me 1,100 soles. In the other place that I did it, they charged me 250 soles.
Holy crap. Can I say that the name of the? Can you say
Uh,
the name of the
the, the,
place?
the new one, yes, I would say. The other one, people know, I'm not going to mention, but the new one is El Tío Milton
Okay.
in Pets, Mascotas Pet. It's next to Torre Limatambo. Mascotas Pet, that guy is insane. You go and he check your dog. Usually vets, they ask you for test, no? Test para todo, no? Test de,
Yeah.
no, your dog looks good for the surgery. Let's do it, because usually this test, the dog need the surgery anyway. So if you need the
Yeah.
surgery, let's try to do it.
Holy crap, that's a lot, man. That's a lot for a dog. But still, you have to pay, and you did it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally. There was a moment that I kind of realized, oh, they are raping me. Was when they asked me, "Hey, does your dog eat like home food, like comida de casa, right?" And I
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, he does." Okay, he need an extra test of 300 soles. In that moment, I felt the dick, in my throat.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you told him that no, my dog eat junk or crap. Maybe he will lower the price.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
for
you
sure.
know. I saw something interesting yesterday. That why is that? Well, not only dogs, but people without homeless people and homeless dog, they have like a better immune system compared to the ones that have a home. The dogs that eat, their peptides, their crackers, little crackers.
Yeah, yeah, the
They
crackers. Yeah.
have like I don't know if it's a correlation, but these cookies like not destroy but made the dog's gut more weak,
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
weak. So when they eat like a bone or I don't know how you say this, cartílago, the
Yeah.
dog felt um have stomach ache. I don't know why, but a dog, a street dog, eat that, and they are like strong, powerful.
Yeah.
They can resist the weather. They can resist anything, and that's crazy.
There's something interesting about the crackers, the cookies that we call
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The cookies. What happened is that the quality of the protein is the worst quality. I
Mhm.
checked this out on the YouTube channel Jake Tran. He made like a full episode. This is the reason why I stopped giving food to Armando, like cookies, because the protein, in order to reduce their cost, they buy the animals that have been used for test purposes or the animals that had diseases that were sacrificed. I would say in Spanish, just to make clear.
Yeah.
Los animales sacrificados por enfermedad, they use that as a source of protein. So technically, it's protein, right? But it's the shittiest protein that you can
You
find,
can
and
find.
they use that to reduce cost.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I follow. Well, I saw a reel also that this guy doesn't feed their animals with this kind of cookies of animal food.
Yeah.
They only give them like soup or chicken, food that we eat. And the dogs are massive, are great, are really strong.
Yeah.
So that's something that maybe the people will tend, no? Give your dog like regular food, just to us.
Yes. And even these people say, oh, no, but you can go for the expensive brands. It's kind of the same because the expensive part is the dehydration, la deshidratación.
Hmm?
That is very expensive. So if you want to cover that price, you need to reduce the quality of food. So at the end, the best thing is to give like homemade food. And some people, I remember the veterinarian, he told me, yeah, you need to hire nutritionist, a dog nutritionist. And I was like, fuck that. You just go to GPT and this is my dog, this is his weight, give me a diet, and that's it.
You know that dogs have psychology too, also. You know?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I heard that shit. It's insane,
yeah,
right?
that's insane. How? Well, that's totally a scam. I don't know. That's metida por foundation. You know?
Yeah,
How,
deep, 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 balls deep.
how do you know how can you hire? I mean, it's not the guy fault, you know, because they are making money. They know how to make money. But how are you going to hire a dog psychology or a pet psychology? I
It's
mean,
called
that's
authority bias. So many people, if they just see like the degree, oh, he's a vet, he must be good.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, um, I I kind of have a job right now. You know, I'm working right now on NutriPoint. You know,
Okay, that's nice.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. It's something that
What is
I
your position? Are you the seller? What are you doing
yeah,
there?
I'm the seller. Yes, of course, I'm the seller. I'm at this a NutriPoint spot, and I try to sell the products for them. Okay,
Okay.
so it was good. You know, the nutrition point, the gym point. It's something that I'm interested in. I told you so in previously podcast. But you know, this that bad part about this job is about the commissions. You know, they give you a shit of commission.
Yeah.
That's what a coworker told me. I mean, he was like, "Yeah, you get a lot of commission. You only have to sell. Okay, but how do you earn about this commission?" So I'll make some numbers here.
Yeah.
For example, one store have this goal of 1,000 soles. Okay, so you
Okay.
divide 1,000 soles by 30, and you have to make. Let me get my calculator. So you have to get approximately 3,333 soles per day to make your goal. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, the salesman get that commission if you sell minimum the 90% of the goal. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you sell like 90 soles, 90 soles, 9,000 soles in the month, you'll get the commission. And you'll say, hey, that's not so hard. Okay, so
So
I'm not doing
9K per month to receive
no,
a
no, no,
commission.
90K per month. Okay,
99 and 0 or 9,000?
no, no, 9 and 0,
Holy
90K.
shit.
90K. It's an example, of course. It's
Okay,
an
okay.
example. It's an example, of course.
Okay,
It's an
okay.
example. So you have to get minimum 90% of the goal. That is 90K. Okay.
Okay.
So hey, that's not so hard. I'm going to sell. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make some offer with a client. The client will get to me. Okay. So I previously thought, okay, so if I sell, for example, a protein of 500 soles, I'll get what 10% of that. I'll get 5% of that. It's not a
Yeah.
lot, but hey, if I sell a lot, I'm going to make some money.
Yeah. You move it. Yeah.
But this is the scam, okay, entre comillas, that
Okay.
that if you don't get to 90% of your goal, you don't get the commission. Okay, so
Oh,
all the work you made, for example, if you make 89,99999, it's an
you're
example, of
fucked.
course, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine in the best scenario, you get 90%. Oh, that's great, you get 90%. So each time you made a sale, um, the system, you put your name of in the system, so the system know that okay, Juan Carlos made this sale. Okay, and human resources know that you are working and you made this kind of sales. Okay, so at the end of the month, imagine that you made, I don't know, 5,000 soles. Okay, so you said, hey, okay, I made 5,000 soles of sales. Maybe I'll get like 500 or something like that. No,
Yeah.
you'll get between 2 or 2.5% of that sale, of your sales of the month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine that you get 5,000 for 2.5%, you only get like 125 soles
Yeah, yeah,
for five
totally.
for five for 5,000 soles that the company get.
You know why it doesn't surprise me, because first what they are selling is they are selling brands that don't are their brands. Usually they are selling the American brands, or
Mhm.
do they only sell American brands? Do they also sell UN Universal? Do they sell that?
They no, they sell American brands.
Only American.
Universal is Peruvian, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Peruvian. Yes, there is another UN, but there is an
Ultimate.
American UN,
Yeah,
and yeah, the
yeah,
ultimate. Well, but long story short, what happened is that these American brands regularly give you like 30% of margin. So that is for the importer. Now, these big companies, the one that you mentioned, they sometimes they are not imported. They have an agent that do the importation.
yeah,
They have to split the commission. So at the end, it's not that they have a lot of money to share with the sellers. So they make money, that's true, but it's not that they have a lot of money to share with the sellers. But if you have a way to those people that you are selling, gather that in a Juan Carlos database,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
be huge, because I can show you after this call, of course, some ways to monetize that Juan Carlos database in a way that for real you will continue working there, but just for the database.
Yeah, yeah. While I was like analyzing that situation, each time you made a sale, you have to add the client number, okay, the client number and identification, so you get that data from the client. And I said, and this is something that I learned from one of your podcasts, I think, that you have to get your database to cartera,
Yes,
so maybe you can offer something to these clients, okay,
totally.
but in in a deep way that the company doesn't know, or your coworkers doesn't know, because you get the minimum wage, and you get the minimum of the commissions,
Shit, you
and
get
that's
shit.
and
Yeah.
that's crazy. And well, this is a temporary job, until I find something. But I also I was like really like excited because of the commission, right? Because
Yeah.
the first 2 days, I sold like five big buckets of protein, and I said, hey, I'm making money, but I
Yeah.
don't make shit because of this. Yeah, you don't make shit of that of
Yeah,
this.
I can tell you something extra. Like the best way to exchange contacts with these people, not necessarily is telling, "Hey, I'm going to add you or add me for discounts." No, no. It's sometimes asking after the sale, right? After you close the sale, "Hey,
Mhm.
what do you do for a living? ¿A qué te dedicas?" "Oh, I will be interesting. Can we keep in touch?" So that's a way to shortcut the process,
Yeah,
because it's
that's
you're not stealing the customer. You are
mhm.
interested as a human being, because
Yeah,
actually you are, right?
yeah, yeah.
And perhaps in the future, whatever, I'm not just talking about supplements. Whatever you do in the future, you have a person that already bought you something, even if it's to the company, but you were the middleman, right?
Yeah.
So you have the trust and you can keep selling to these people. So I would say your position not necessarily is the best money making machine, but it's an interesting networking spot.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting that you say. Um, you know, we also have discounts for the products, but that's still during the your third month in the company, So I'll get the discount on June, I think. So I was told that we get a huge discount, and they said, "Hey, that's great, but you only get like 400 soles of discount of the products, okay? And they'll discount you from your minimum wage,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's something that you start to thinking like, wow, these guys like work so hard and they doesn't make a lot of money.
yeah,
I asked
yeah,
the I asked the coworker, hey, how much was the most that you earn? And he told me, he thought about it really deep, and I said, hey, is this guy making like 5,000 soles, 6,000 soles? That's a lot of money.
yeah.
And he told me, no, the another salary. And I was like, so another salary is 2,400. I didn't say anything. I said, okay, okay, that's great. That's great.
No, I can tell you, my friend. I can tell you. For example, it's interesting that we're having this call now because I have kind of the opposite problem. Now, I'm in sales and
Mhm.
with the English thing. So I have a lot of stock of supplements that I barely have time to move it. Usually I don't use sellers because sellers are annoying, but I kind of trust you. So maybe we can figure out a way that you first do this customer list, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then later, if you want, you can buy me with a real discount, not like at that type of discount that is shit. With a real discount, I'm talking like huge, or maybe I can give you like products for free, so you can sell the products and you have this extra product for free to sell it, and in that way, your commission is going to be insane.
Yeah,
And you can do parallel because our products that are not being sold in that store for sure.
yeah, of course. Yeah, we can work. We can talk about that. And they sell like some interesting products there. You know that supplements industry is totally a scam. Sometimes they sell like really good stuff, but most of them they sell like crap.
The more
And you,
mixed. This is the for people that are listening. How do you know if the supplement is just like a deep testicles?
yeah,
Like it. How do you know the more ingredients it has?
exactly.
The more because the more. Why do you mix so many ingredients? Because now it's hard to track how much of each thing do you have.
Yeah, these these products have really interesting ingredients that you don't know what you're eating. You don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're reading,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
people still buy those stuff.
yeah, yeah.
They sell like let me like eight types of protein there. Okay, so from the eight, maybe one or two like are acceptable because they have like clean ingredients, very few ingredients, but most of them have like I don't know, amino acids. They have creatine. That creatine you have to take it apart from the protein.
Can
Don't
we go
not.
nerd? Can we go nerd here? Because, for example, back then when I used to resell these people's products, I never worked with your company. No, which is the one that start with N, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I work with those. I work with before they used to have another name before. But okay, long
Yeah.
story short,
Yeah.
the thing is that when I used to work with them, they started with S, the name. Oh, okay. The thing is that these people they offer you the whey protein, okay,
Mhm,
but you can also sell the casein, proteína de caseína, right?
mhm, mhm.
So that was the moment that let me do this research about the casein because actually it tastes good. The on, not un,
ON.
but
Yes.
on
ON.
casein
Yes.
tastes delicious. It's very tasty. It's the best thing I have tasted in my life. But I did my research, and actually, this casein protein, even though it's very tasty, is not that good for you because it takes longer to digest. Yeah, and if it takes longer, better just eat your foods first. And second is it takes so much time that now your GH, your human growth hormone, cannot be produced because all the time your insulin is up. So you start to find, oh, actually, if you want protein, you can do just the regular way, but these people want to monetize also the casein.
Going a little bit nerd.
I like
Uh,
it. Oh, we're touching good spot.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
I did my research really long ago about the casein, and it's like a low digestive protein. So you usually take this casein before you go to bed. So imagine you go to work and you didn't like eat your protein, your macros, and you said, "Hey, I need more protein." Okay, so you eat your casein and you drink it, and you're free to go. But I was thinking about what you said. Hey, if you like take something and then go to bed, maybe you don't get like a good amount of sleep, or I don't know. I haven't tried casein. Right now, the company doesn't have like a one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
They stopped selling it. I know what you're talking about. They're selling another one that is like way concentrate with casein and have all other ingredients. So um, they have a lot of protein. So they told me, hey, if a customer asks you that they want like a protein with a good flavor, you recommend this brand.
Yeah.
If they want like something with amino acids, you recommend this brand. If you want something with a lot of protein, you recommend this brand. So they have like all the answers for what the customer need.
Yeah.
and you have to sell, you have to sell the big as prices products, so you can monetize. So the company have to monetize one. But it's funny because the first time we were selling it and I saw the ingredients of the products, I was, hey, I don't want to scam people saying
It is
shit
shit. Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
it's really toxic. I mean, it's not toxic, but they have they can try a better thing.
Let's talk one. I want to mention this one, carnivore. The carnivore. I used to be a big retailer of carnivore. I never import carnivore.
Mhm,
I bought it from the same company that you're working with.
mhm.
And I remember the time that I bought the most was one time that I went to this company and I bought 500 carnivores. I have pictures about this. Sometimes I share it online. So the thing is that I was selling carnivore because it was the thing that people were buying like crazy. So, okay,
Yeah.
they're buying, give it to the people. Until I did the research of how carnivore, the protein was being done. When I was a teenager, I did my own carnivore. I put meat in the blender, in la
Uh-huh.
licuadora, and I did, it tastes like shit. So
Yeah.
I was wondering until this question, how do they manage to make it good taste? How
Uh-huh.
the process is insane. It's loaded with chemicals, and it's similar to the dog food that the quality of the protein, they don't put the best beef protein that they can. They will give you the lowest, a lot of just fillers to make it taste good. So actually, when people eat the carnivore, it's better to eat the food, the meat, the beef,
Yeah.
right? Instead of just
Exactly.
eat the carnivore. Why? This is insane. But it's not business to tell that to the people because I'm writing this down, but I have an interesting fat burner business proposal for you, Juan Carlos, after this call.
You
I'm waiting to finish this. I have an interesting shit for you just right after this
you
call.
you
But
know you know I saw a video like your video a long time ago that you talk about like fat burners. You remember that the
yeah,
ingredients about that?
totally.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have one fat burner and one fat mobilize. I think that is called. Okay,
Which, Lipo 6 Black or is a new one?
yeah. Liposis black
That's a
and
classic.
L-carnitine.
Okay, classic. Both classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't sell pre-workouts right now because we don't have the the el almacén. Okay, we
Yeah.
don't have nothing there. Okay, so we try to sell those as pre-workouts, and we add the you can burn fat, and this works for you to get a big pump, and you can train more. Okay, you can get more reps during your training, and people buy that shit. People buy the lipo seeds because it helps them for burn fat,
Yeah.
mostly women, mostly women and some fat people, but they buy that and they don't read the ingredients, and that's what you previously said. Two of the ingredients I think is green tea or black tea
Yeah.
and caffeine coffee. I don't remember.
Yeah. And diuretics also.
Yeah, I think so. So it's something easy that you can get in your market,
Exactly.
in your market, and people buy that, and
That,
people
that's
buy
why
that.
when I tell people, because the fat burner I'm going to share with you, it doesn't have coffee, but that's why I tell people you need to mix this with coffee. And sometimes people say, no, but I prefer to buy the Lipo 6 Black. Yeah, but actually what they are selling you is there is coffee. So it's like you don't want to buy the coffee that you already have it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's like what I can tell you, Juan Carlos, is that in the position that you are now is a lead magnet. You have an interesting lead magnet there, and then you can do your own label, your own Juan Carlos label. I know that sounds difficult to believe, but after this call, I want to show you all the thing.
Yeah.
The supplement industry is very easy to take over. It's like playing with a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, we can talk about this maybe after the meeting or another meeting, but
Yeah.
yeah, after all this like analysis of the products, many we can talk about the clients. There are some special clients that want to buy like anything. They want to buy anything. They want only go to us. Hey, I'm just looking. I don't want to buy anything. They and some clients,
Aspirational,
yeah,
aspirational,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and some clients that 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 said, hey, I know about these products. Yeah, you can't convince me because I know these products. I have taken them a long time ago. So I say, okay, sir, okay, you can review if you want. Just ask me if you need anything. Just you meet a lot of people that only goes there to analyze, to check. Sometimes they buy it. Sometimes they say, "Hey, those prices are really high." What I usually said is, "Yeah, because well, ON is like the brand of the company. They are they
That's
have
the
this
Mercedes. That's the
yeah
Mercedes of the supplements. Yeah.
they are recognized worldwide, so they have like this quality insurance in their products, so that's why these products are really high in value." So when you told them that, they said, "Oh, okay, I understand," and they like uh, they have like doubt a little bit and they buy the product. So you have to see which person is going to buy and which person is not going to buy. Just go because they doesn't have the time. Okay, they doesn't have anything to do.
But by the way,
And
let me interrupt you there. That's kind of you are developing that's a skill. That's a powerful skill. Is to discard the wrong people because you actually you sell to the people that want to buy from you. You
I,
know, like this convincing usually never works.
I'm working with that. I just start 2 months ago. So I don't know how are we going with time, but I'm going to make it long short. Okay, so when I
Let
was like practicing this, I was in different stores. So right now I'm at Primavera. Okay, so previously I was at Breña and Salaberry. Okay, so these guys like teach me some things about how to sell the products, and when you start, you're going to with a lot of energy, and you're going to sell, you're going to say hello to everyone. And this guy from Salaberry told me something interesting that you told me. He told me, "Hey, you need to know which client is going to buy and which client is wasting your time. Okay, you don't have to be like polite and you don't have to be happy all the time because
yeah.
that takes you a lot of energy." And that's right, because when I worked there in Salaberry, I was feeling great in the morning, but during I don't know, after lunch, I was feeling really tired and I didn't want to talk with anyone. And he said, "Hey, sometimes clients drain your energy because they doesn't have
Yes.
anything else to do. They only want
Beautiful.
to talk, they only want to mess up." And you know which people have this kind of bad energy when they enter the store. So right now, like I'm just saying, "Hey, hello, let me know if you need anything. I'll help you." And people said, "Hey, I want to buy some creatine. Please talk me about it." And many people, a lot of people buy creatine, so we make a lot of money with that. Um, and I think that's it. You learn a lot in sales. You learn a lot. You interact with a lot of people. That's something that I like. But the bad things, is about the commissions, about the company it's good, it's great. They have like a lot of schedules, so it's a rotative schedule for me. But about the commissions, maybe I just work for them like maybe 2 or 3 months until I
Enough,
get the
huh? I
commission.
can tell you, Juan
Yeah,
Carlos, that's enough. We don't
yeah,
with 3 extra months. We're going to talk after this, but I can tell you some things. First, I'm very proud of you, because you decide that's the right decision. Like you are working. That is an interesting place to work. And also, I will tell you this thing that you mentioned. We have been sharing, right? Like discard the wrong people. I learned this a while ago. I was looking for cars, I remember, and I went to this Mercedes. It was like a Expo Motors. It's a place where different
yeah.
cars brands are there. So the guys who sell Mercedes, they are checking everybody, and they saw me that I was asking prices in Volkswagen, asking prices in Hyundai, and then I went to them. And when I want to talk, they didn't want to talk with me, and I was like, this is weird. I have the money, but first they checked me that I was checking prices in this lower brand. So I'm sure they have this pattern, right? If the guy checked prices on Volkswagen and Hyundai, he's not like an Audi Mercedes buyer, he's kind of from the hood. And the guy was actually right. So there are different patterns that a seller, you already spot, I'm already spot. So once that you apply that, maybe you lose here and there some sales, that's for sure. But overall, you maximize your commission and your revenue. My friend, I will have to run today. Sorry for the microphone. For people who know, I have a microphone inconvenience at the beginning, but I have something cool for we both, for us, Juan Carlos. I'm going to talk to you after this call.
Awesome.
Dale,
Awesome.
hermano.
Just a little thing,
Take your time, take your time.
Okay. So people that maybe study for something, okay, so and they are now working or they are like seeking for job. I'm still seeking for job, but I said to me, hey, I prefer to work in something that I know or that I like, and they're not going to pay me shit. But it's better that don't not doing anything and just sit, in your desk and seeking for job or seeking for opportunities. You have to get out of your comfort zone and get something. So I don't know, people, if they are seeking right now for jobs, opportunities, hey, you'll have your opportunity. Maybe not now, maybe in the future, but you have to start to build it. Maybe do something that you don't like right now, and later you love what you do. So that's like a philosophy that I'm trying to apply, and I'm trying to think of that every day.
I'm afraid you just gave me a huge idea for a YouTube video with that one. You just gave me a big holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's cool. That's cool.
That's wisdom. That's wisdom.
That's
If people
wisdom.
want to follow you, Juan Carlos, where can they do it?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram, juanca.vallejosube. I'm not going to allow anything about my job. I can't do that. But we can
Don't
talk
worry.
about business or fitness things. No problem.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, my friend, for your time.
Thank you very much, Balta.
Dale, hermano.
Good luck.
Suerte.
Bye bye.
Dale.